Okay, now we've already done the ham, we've done the eggs, and we've done the toast, so let's get to the grits. Here I have a pot of water that has a rolling boil on it. Remember that. Your grits need to go into rolling, boiling water. And I'm going to stir these in. Okay? Now you can stir them in with a spoon or whatever you have. Okay, you don't necessarily have to stir them in like I'm doing. One of the things I forgot to do is to put some salt in. So it's okay about the salt. I'm just going to put the salt in now. Okay. Now, I'm going to stir these grits and I'm going to reduce the heat. I had the heat up to a rolling boil that was on high just till I could get my grits into the water. Now I've reduced the heat down to low. And I'm going to allow these grits to cook. Now, I know a lot of times we get there's two different types of grits. You can get just the regular Harmony grits, or you can get the 5-minute grits. But to me, 5 minutes in cooking grits, it just does not make my grits as tasty as I want my grits to be. There's a couple of ways that you can cook grits. If you want just the gritty taste but a good bowl of grits, this will give you just a little bit of gritty taste but a good bowl of grits. If you want your grits to be smooth, the only thing you have to do is add a little bit of cream or milk, and then you will get the smooth grits. Now, I don't cook my grits 5 minutes. If anything, I cook them about 15 minutes. And you have to constantly stir because you don't want your grits to stick at the bottom. And I don't know how many people are familiar with cooking grits, but you know, after a while, grits will pop. And the worst thing in the world to do is to get hit by some hot grits. I think we got some people out there that can attest to that. I'm going to add cheese to these grits at the very end. But right now, I'm just going to allow these grits to simmer for a while. I do have them on low, and they're starting to thicken up, as you can see. And I love good grits. Oh my goodness. That even makes the difference when I go to a restaurant. And I often, when I sit down, I'm like, I wonder do these people really know how to cook grits? And you find us a lot of people out here that have mastered the skill in cooking grits. But it's a lot of people out here also that don't have a clue. So for some people that may need a couple of pointers when it comes to cooking grits, I'm going to see if I can help you out. Now, while those grits are attempting to come back up to heat to where they were, I'm going to step away and get a little bit of water. Now, even though I have the right amount of water for the grits, and the ratio for cooking grits is 4 cups of water to 1 cup of grits. That's still not enough for me. As it cooks, I'm going to add just a little bit more water. And that's where I say that I don't do the 5 minutes. I do a little bit more cooking time. That's because I add a little bit more water to the grits. And remember, I told you in the last part 1 of this video that I didn't put the eggs in, I'm sorry, the cheese in the eggs, because I'm going to put the cheese in the grits. But before I do that, I'm going to remove a bowl of grits for myself. Because I'm not a lover of cheese in my grits, but my family is. I don't like my grits to stick to the bottom of the pot. And as you can see how those grits have thickened up? Yeah, they've thickened up, but they're not done. So right here, okay, I don't like my grits to be runny. I don't like my grits to be super thick. I want my grits to be just right. So right here, I'm going to add some more water. I'm going to stir these. And I added maybe about 1/4 of a cup of water, that is. Now, I'm going to let these cook for maybe a couple of minutes. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to add a little bit more water. Maybe about another 1/4 of a cup. And then I'm going to let them cook. And I'll get back. Now, you see my grits got that little light boil on it because I have it on low. So I'm going to stir it again. And again, I'm going to add that 1/4 of water. And when I come back this time, my grits should be ready. You see how it thickened up? The grits are going to thicken back up as long as you don't overwater them. Now you go in there and put too much water in it, then you're going to do what you see a lot of grits do sometimes. They're going to be runny. And if you don't put enough water in it, they're going to be thick. I don't want them real thick. I don't want them runny. I want them just right. Okay. Let them simmer just a little while longer. And normally what I do is I cook my grits first, and then I put them on the back burner, and I allow them to simmer while I'm making whatever else it is that I'm going to make for breakfast. If I have to make the ham or the eggs, or I have to make the toast, all of that is after I start my grits to cooking, because you always start with what takes the longest to cook. So since the grits is going to take the longest to cook, I start with the grits, turn them on low, put them in the back of the oven. By the time I get through with everything else, then the grits is ready as well. So we'll let this simmer a little while longer. Okay, we'll get back. Now we're back, and I think that the grits are ready. Oh yeah. They're not stuck. They're good and thick, but not too thick. And they're ready. So now I'm going to add the cheese. But one thing I need to do before I add the cheese is take me some out. Because I think I stated in the beginning, I am not a lover of cheese in my grits. And what I'm going to do is, I should have taken them out before I came back, but I didn't. I'm going to take the rest of this margarine, put it down in there, and here I have some, really I can cut the stove off at this point. Here I have some mild cheddar and some Monterey Jack. Okay, now I'm just going to stir that in the grits. That's for all of my cheese lover grit fans. Okay. There it is. Now, I'm going to dish up a plate real quick because I want you guys to see how it looks. Here's our eggs. Put some of them down on the plate. And we'll put our grits. On the plate. And we're going to put some of my leftover ham. Down on the plate. Set this over here. And just a little dab of butter in those grits. And let me wipe that plate off. I'm going to step away and get a dish towel because I got a thing for just presenting somebody with a plate. It's messed up. Okay. There you have it. We have our scrambled eggs, our grits, our toast, and our slices of ham that we had from Thanksgiving. I want to show you just a little bit about this toast though before I leave. See, that toast is bendable. That's how your toast is when you butter it right after it comes out of the toaster while it's still hot. And I'm telling you, that toast, just like everything else on that plate, is finger licking good. Okay. That's all we have for you in this morning segment. I'm going to get back to you maybe later on today or tomorrow and show you what to do with that leftover turkey. So don't throw the turkey away. Just put it in the freezer and I'll show you a couple of tricks to do with that. This is all we have for you, and as always, I want to tell you, thank you for watching Chris Cook for You Too. Bye.